evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV. We're broadcasting from our studios on Caraba Avenue, and this is the news with me and Sumana Isonyase. Here are the main news headlines. Now, as well as the religious aspect to Tobaski, the day is a public holiday in the Gambia, enjoyed by Muslims and non-Muslims alike. We find out what it's like for those who must work while almost everyone else is at home. And the Children's National Assembly members in Kerewan recently held discussions with a senior police officer, a chief, and the region's principal education officer on child-related matters. In business news, the Central Bank of the Gambia has released the official foreign exchange valuation rates for the period 3rd to 9th July 2023. And in international news, President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone has been sworn in for his second and final 5-year term as president after a hotly contested election. The Democratic Republic of Congo celebrates its 63rd Independence Day today, 30th June. And the International Day of Parliamentarism, celebrated annually on June 30th, marks the anniversary of founding of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. The 2023 theme is Parliaments for the Planet, focusing on climate action. But stay tuned for more on these and other stories. Now, as well as the religious aspect to Tobaski, the day is a public holiday enjoyed by Muslims and non-Muslims alike. So, what it's like for those who must work while almost everyone else is home? Well, QTV's Umi Awabah went to find out, and here are a few of the people she spoke to.
Well, for somebody who works in a newsroom, it's not unusual. So whether it's Korite, Tobaski, Christmas, New Year's, the news doesn't stop. So fortunately or unfortunately, I'm here. But I'm glad to say that at least I have a chance to give my other colleagues the time off to spend with their families. But somebody has to make sure that everything runs smoothly, and so that's why I'm here. Well, for those who are at home, who are watching, a simple message really. Take this time that you're spending at home with your loved ones. Cherish each other. And I know I saw the president's message where he was talking about peace and tolerance and so on. These are the sort of messages we give. And sometimes we take it for granted, and I'll tell you why. Today, as people in the Muslim Ummah celebrate Eid al-Adha, in Sweden, a man went to court and got permission to go and burn a copy of the Quran in front of a mosque. And that happened today, and the court gave him permission to do so. The man is an Iraqi refugee who says he's no longer a Muslim. And, you know, and that's the kind of intolerance that goes on. And so here in the Gambia, we talk about tolerance, and we talk about, you know, peaceful coexistence. And I think we should cherish it, and we should savor it, because it's not the same everywhere. Really, just quickly to say to all to the Muslim Ummah, Eid Mubarak, and as I say, don't eat too much, because I know sometimes people get carried away. Enjoy it. Or also,
I am Sub-Inspector Lamin Bajo, attached to Mobile Traffic as Assistant Station Officer, and I'm greeting all the police senior cadre for the Eid Mubarak. As you righteously say that we are vulnerable to everything, working under the hot sun, the velocity of the air, the hotness of the road, people's interactions, the hotness from the vehicles, and other hard situations that we encounter. So in traffic, we really need high cooperation of the public. There is something you said here. Sometimes when you see a queue, you feel tedious. You think maybe it's caused by the police.
Yeah.
No, it is not like that. It is the attitude. Attitude contributes a lot to the traffic problems in this country. Yeah. So we all have to contribute eminently, prospectively, and positively to see that the traffic flow is going smoothly.
Hello everyone, I'm Salima, an RN here at the A&E at Canifin General Hospital. Well, it's a mixed feeling because I decided to be a nurse, to dedicate and also sacrifice for the Gambian people. So even though I have mixed feelings about leaving my family, because this is my first year working, I'm a new nurse here at the Canifin. So my mom was even like, where are you going? I'm like, I have work. And it's a sacrifice. To be a nurse, you have to be here when you are needed at all time and on all hours. So like I said, it's a mixed feeling and it's a sacrifice, and that I'm willing to make as having the passion for being a nurse. So if you don't have passion for what you do, you wouldn't be able to make sacrifices like this.
Since when I started working at QTV over 6 years now, I've never celebrated Eid at home. I'm always at work on Eid and Corita Day as well. So it's something that I'm used to actually, because mostly, we have ladies in our department, so we always give them the chance for them to spend Eid at home with their families as well, because they need it more than us. So some of us actually, we don't, like me, I'm not married yet, but so it's okay. I could spend the Eid at home with my family though, but I think spending my Eid at work is better than spending it with the family at some point, because doing what I does here, people at home watching the TV, some of them are really happy, like, because they want to be at home on Eid. Not everybody want to go out to see family. They want to just sit at home with their family, watch TV, and chill throughout the day. So me here as well, I'm working, but I'm chilling though. You can see I'm calm. I'm doing my thing.
I feel it's only right, because when it's, I'm a Christian, so normally when it's Christian festivals and stuff, we do the same thing as well. I'll be home relaxing, chillaxing, and everyone else is working, so it's only right, thorn by thorn. Yeah, definitely. But Eid Mubarak to everyone else out there as well, to all the fans. Next year with good health, good life, plenty of money.
Okay, so I like that, plenty of money. And I tell you what, to those of us who are having to work, even though it's Eid, well, we look forward to resting as well, perhaps next week. Now, Children's National Assembly members in Kerewan recently held discussions with a senior police officer, a chief, and the principal education officer, Region 3, on issues affecting them in the region. More in this report.
The Children's National Assembly comprises 105 members. Each administrative area elects 15 representatives to the Assembly, at least 2 of whom must be children with disabilities. At a special meeting with senior members of the community to discuss issues affecting children, Basiru J. of the National Youth Council, who was there to implement the UNICEF-funded program, briefed the House about the meeting and introduced those in attendance.
The main program of today will be in a form of interaction, because it will be an interaction between or like among the Children Assembly with their different authorities. So before going further, I would love to introduce the panel. On my immediate left, I have the PO from the Education Directorate. On my immediate right, I have the Police Commissioner for North Bank Region, and on my far right, I have the representative from of the chief.
The Commissioner of Police, North Bank Region, Ansumana Kinti, explained the fundamental functions of police.
Protection of life and property as number one primary function, which is obvious because it is constitutionally enshrined. Notwithstanding, we go beyond what is contained in the books to be physically felt on the ground and to interact with those we are meant to serve and serve diligently, including our very own representatives of Children's National Assembly of North Bank Region.
In continuing the session, the Deputy Speaker of the House, Honorable Khadijatu Dabo, invited Assembly members to ask questions which were responded to by the Police Commissioner and Principal Education Officer.
My name is Honorable Khadijatu Dabo, the Deputy Speaker of NBI. So I will ask the floor if they have any questions. The floor.
The group led by their coordinators, Mr. Mohamed Swari and Pamudu Gay, made visits to some schools in the region to speak to pupils about issues affecting them, as well as to make other observations. Speaking to the Deputy Speaker, Khadijatu Dabo and Honorable Babakar Sow, they say they are happy to be addressed as honorable.
I intend to remain as a parliamentarian forever, because as a parliamentarian you enjoy a lot. Even in locally, every time, wherever you are, people are calling you honorable, honorable. Only that is a great pleasure.
The Children's National Assembly of the Gambia SINAC continue to nurture a great sense of democracy, patriotism, civic responsibility, tolerance, peace, and values such as honesty, hard work, and justice in the children. Don Williams, QTV News, Kerewan.
Well, we apologize for some of the picture quality in that story, and we now go for a short commercial break, but we'll be right back.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day, or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow. To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Welcome back. Be reminded you're watching QTV News, coming to you live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue. Now, first, let's have a look at business news. So the Central Bank of the Gambia has released the official foreign exchange valuation rates for the period 3rd to 9th of July 2023. Here is that update.
The Central Bank of Gambia has released the following official foreign exchange rates for valuation purposes applicable for the 3rd of July to the 9th July 2023. The rates are as follows. $1 $59.35 butoots. €1 $64.80 butoots. 1 British pound $74.73 butoots. 1 Swiss franc $64.41 butoots. 5,000 CFA francs, $489.55 butoots. 100 Swedish krona, $555.73 butoots. 100 Norwegian krona, $573.47 butoots. 100 Danish kron, $726.56 butoots. West African unit of account currency, $79.10 butoots. Source, Central Bank of the Gambia. That is the end of the foreign exchange rate valuation from the Central Bank of the Gambia for the period 3rd to the 9th of July 2023.
And now in a moment, we have a look at international news. President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone has been sworn in for his second and final 5-year term as president. He won 56% of the vote in Saturday's presidential election, which came at the end of a campaign blighted by several violent incidents. Modern Boy tells us more.
No sooner than the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, ECSL, had declared him winner on Tuesday, 59-year-old President Julius Maada Bio was sworn in. His supporters took to the streets of the capital, Freetown, in scenes of jubilation, even though the president had actually lost the capital to his main challenger in the election, which was a repeat of 2018's election, a two-horse race between Julius Maada Bio of the Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP, and former government minister under Ernest Bai Koroma, 72-year-old Dr. Samura Kamara of the All People's Congress, APC. Whereas in 2018, the two contenders went to a runoff, this time Maada Bio secured the required percentage of votes to avoid a second round. Under Sierra Leone electoral law, a candidate needs at least 55% of the votes for outright victory. Mada Bio polled 56% to Dr. Kamara's 41% in a field of 13 candidates. In a country of about 8 million people, nearly 3.5 million registered to vote in Sierra Leone's 5 administrative areas. Not only the presidential, but the parliamentary, mayoral and local council elections were also held on the same day, unlike some countries where these elections are held on different dates. According to the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, ECSL, 83% of registered voters turned out to vote. At the time of going to press, only the presidential election result has been announced. However, the defeated Dr. Kamara hasn't officially conceded yet. Indeed, in the run-up to Saturday's vote, he had made complaints against the ECSL. And when the Commission released its partial results on Monday, which gave Mada Bio the lead after 60% of polling stations had been counted, Dr. Kamara called it daylight robbery, alleging that his electoral agents were not allowed to verify the ballot counting. Observers from the African Union, the ECOWAS, the European Union, and the US-based Carter Center monitored the vote, and some of their assessments of the election appear to bolster Dr. Kamara's accusation. Head of the Carter Center's election observer team, for instance, said to the BBC, "We are not convinced that the integrity was maintained throughout the elections." However, he went on to add, perhaps redeemingly, that they did not have any evidence that fraud had been committed and that much of the election process had gone well. In his speech after the swearing-in, the President said, "Our triumph belongs to every Sierra Leonean," which has been read by some analysts as an olive branch to calm the tension that had arisen during the campaign. Only a week before the election, the APC alleged that one of its supporters was shot dead by police, which the police denied. The party also alleged that another one of its backers was killed when security forces on Sunday laid siege to its headquarters in Freetown and fired live rounds into the property while it held a press conference after the polls. Dr. Kamara described it as an assassination attempt. The police denied firing live rounds. The campaign took place against the backdrop of a worsening cost of living crisis with high levels of poverty, unemployment, and according to many critics, corruption. In August last year, at least 27 people died in anti-government protests. In all fairness, President Mada Bio has also received plaudits for his education reform, which has sought to make education free and has recruited thousands of new teachers, bringing the number of children going to school to more than 3 million, up from under 2 million in 2018. He has also been commended for his land rights policy, aimed at protecting local communities against foreign companies seeking to exploit their land. His new gender equality policy requires employers to hire women to at least 30% of their positions. This time round, however, his in-tray will include not only mending fences across the political divide for peace and security, but also solving the cost of living crisis and other concerns. People will certainly expect so. This was the country's 5th election since the civil war ended in 2002. It is arguably another triumph for Sierra Leone as it consolidates its democracy in a region where military coups are rearing their ugly heads again, causing some alarm to ECOWAS. For QTV News, I am Mamadou Mbouj.
Congratulations to President Mada Bio and the people of Sierra Leone. Now, the Democratic Republic of Congo celebrates its 63rd Independence Day today, 30th June, without its central authorities having control over part of its territory occupied for a year by M23 rebels. Lena Ikwenyiba reports.
In his official message last night, the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, in power since 2019, reassured his compatriots that on the military and diplomatic front, a status quo is observed. He described the M23 rebels, allegedly led by Rwanda, according to accusations by the authorities, the United Nations and several Western chancelleries, but denied by Kigali, as bellicose in the name of obscure and despicable interest. He further insisted that there would be transparent and credible presidential and legislative elections on December 20, 2023. despite civil society's concerns. There had been speculations that he would not stand, but he confirmed earlier this year that he would. According to a UN report, despite bilateral, regional and international efforts to de-escalate the crisis related to the Mouvement du Ventre Masse M23, the sanctioned armed group continued to significantly expand its territory and increase attacks. The Central African country began as a king's private domain, evolved into a colony, the Belgian Congo, and gained its independence from Belgium on 30th June 1960 after a long struggle against occupation. The country's anti-colonial hero, Patrice Lumumba, was elected as prime minister. In June 1960, at the handover of power, Belgian King Baudouin praised the colonial administration and spoke about his ancestor, Leopold II, as the civilizer of the country. Afterwards, Lumumba spoke about the violence and degradation that the Congolese had suffered at the hands of the Belgians. In October 1960, the walls were closing in for Patrice Lumumba. Months earlier, he had been celebrated as the Congo's first democratically elected prime minister after decades of brutal colonial rule. On January 17, 1961, Lumumba suddenly disappeared. He was murdered by separatists and Belgian mercenaries. On the 63rd independence anniversary of DRC, Antony J. Blinken, Secretary of State of the U.S. Department of State, on behalf of the United States of America, affirmed their commitment to working with the Congolese people for a free and fair election held successfully and peacefully in December, to helping the Congolese people achieve peace and security and to assist vulnerable communities, respecting human rights and advancing their shared goals, including health, education, economic growth and conservation in the Congo Basin, to ensure the prosperity of the people of the DRC. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Gwenyiba.
Now, International Day of Parliamentarism, which is celebrated annually on June 30th, marks the anniversary of the founding of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. The 2023 theme is Parliaments for the Planet, focusing on climate action. Here is a snippet.
International Day of Parliamentarism, celebrated on June 30th, marks the anniversary of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. The 2023 theme is Parliaments for the Planet, focusing on climate action. In commemoration, the Inter-Parliamentary Union spoke to parliamentarians around the globe, and here is what they had to say.
I'm from the Parliament of India.
Je représente le Parlement français. I am from Ireland.
From Zimbabwe.
Diputada de México.
Du Canada.
Du Parlement gabonais. I am a member of the New Zealand Parliament.
Iran. In the Schweiz.
In Egypt.
Je suis député du Parlement mauricien.
Of the Republic of Fiji Islands.
De l'Assemblée nationale du Sénégal.
From the Kingdom of Tonga.
Parlementaire du Tchad.
Representing Finnish Parliament.
The Kingdom of Eswatini.
I am a member of Parliament of Ukraine.
Botswana, Bangladesh.
The Parliament of Uganda.
Suriname.
Je représente Madagascar.
Zambia.
Al Parlamento di Uruguay.
South Sudan.
Centrafrica.
Sono la vicepresidente della Commissione Esteri della Camera dei Deputati italiana.
We are amongst the most vulnerable when it comes to climate change.
L'impact, il est plutôt à travers le dérèglement climatique.
Serious cyclone issues.
Acidification of the ocean, sea level rising.
ما این سالهای اخیر با یک موضوعی مواجه بودیم به نام گرد و غبار و ریزگرد.
La mer monte chaque année de 2 à 5 cm.
We also have huge issues around car dependency.
Ukraine's industry still produced many greenhouse gas emissions.
Con tormentas, lluvias, inundaciones o sequías.
Frost oder auch zu viel Regen, Überschwemmungen.
Le réchauffement est 2 fois plus important que les autres pays de la planète.
We are expecting heat waves, sandstorms.
Le flash flood, comme on dit dans le jargon.
Our farming season has changed.
The winters have become warmer.
La stagione sciistica in alcuni luoghi non esiste più.
5 months without rain in a poor country like South Sudan that is still emerging out of war.
Ça détruit les champs, les plantes.
The internal migration is happening rapidly.
Over thousands and thousands of people from Turkana in Kenya and also the Pokot from the Kenyan side are now in Uganda looking for livelihoods and also pasture and water for the animals. The climate change is for real.
Les parlementaires ont pu légiférer sur la question à travers des lois sur l'environnement.
It's up to have 51%
carbon reduction by 2030.
Éduquer les gens, premièrement, à protéger l'environnement.
Instead of using personal vehicles, we all now just get in single buses and go to where we're going.
By using the e-office suite, we have turned everything into virtual. And by doing that, we have turned paperless. And that's one aspect.
México se comprometió en el Acuerdo de París a tener el 36% de las energías limpias para 2026.
At the global level, Fiji was a past president of COP23.
Nous avons une politique pour combattre l'érosion de nos plages.
Devenir complètement carboneutre d'ici 2050.
We also work with NGOs.
Et puis un ensemble d'éléments qui visent à la fois la partie de la gestion durable de l'eau, l'alimentation saine et durable.
We're looking at planting 1 million trees by 2023, which is this year.
Les plastiques sont interdits maintenant au Sénégal.
We have been able to put half the amount of oil-heated houses.
You have protected areas and national parks.
When you do a major project, it has to be environmental friendly.
Parliaments play a key role, as parliaments is where the discussion starts.
Solo con una grande pianificazione, una grande volontà si possono evitare gli effetti peggiori del cambiamento climatico e adattarci strada facendo.
We hope that other parliamentarians around the world will take the same approach.
My parliament,
my planet,
our future.
Mon parlement,
ma planète,
notre engagement.
Notre combat.
Mi parlamento, mi planeta.
Nuestros hijos.
My parliament, my planet,
our planet.
Our family.
My parliament,
my planet,
our beautiful blue ocean Pacific.
My parliament,
my planet,
notre musée.
My parliament,
ma planète,
our dream.
Notre engagement,
our life.
Il mio Parlamento,
minun planeettani,
notre devoir,
our environment,
our people,
our diversity.
Mon parlement,
my planet,
my parliament,
my planet,
notre devenir.
Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwenyiba.
And that's all about it for this bulletin of QTV News. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap of main headlines. As well as the religious aspect to Tobaski, the day is a public holiday in the Gambia, enjoyed by Muslims and non-Muslims alike. We found out what it's like for those who must work while almost everyone else is at home. Children's National Assembly members in Kerewan recently held discussions with a senior police officer, a chief and the region's principal education officer on child-related matters. In business news, the Central Bank of the Gambia has released the official foreign exchange valuation rates for the period 3rd to 9th July 2023. And in international news, the Democratic Republic of Congo celebrates its 63rd Independence Day today, 30th June. International Day of Parliamentarism, celebrated annually on June 30th, marks the anniversary of founding of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. The 2023 theme is Parliaments for the Planet, focusing on climate action. That's all we have for you. On behalf of the entire production team, thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow at 8 for more news.